There's a couple things we're gonna do. We're gonna give you a little history perspective of Ewa Beach Surf Club and Ewa Beach, using the first tier of Ewa Beach Surf Club members, which are gathered around me. I'm one tier below. But before we do that, we wanted to honor Mr. and Mrs. Husick. Mr. Husick, come up. Is he here? Let's give him a hand. Mr. Husick. Mr. Husick, yeah.
Hi, Mr. Husick.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. We wanted to honor the Husicks because Jan Husick played a big role in the Ewa Beach Surf Club. And we have some mementos.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, she couldn't come. She has a bad back.
We understand. After we get Mr. Husick.
This is appreciation from Ewa Beach Surf Club members for all the work you and your wife did. So, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Show me your flag.
You know, my wife couldn't make it. She was the one at the Ewa Beach Surf Club, but she had back surgery about 3 months ago, and it's still bothering her, so she wanted to walk on the grass. But it's too bad she couldn't be here. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, late for you.
Hold on a second.
We're going to have a few of the first year Ewa Beach Surf Club guys give a bit of history.
History?
Yes.
Your perspective. Oh my God, history. This is the history right here. Everybody that's here. I'm not sure when we started the Ewa Beach Surf Club. 1961, Tony? 1961. There's a lot of people. I mean, our surf club was probably maybe only 20 small when we started off. There was a lot of girls and guys from Cape Art Housing that was part of the group, but they came and went. Winnie Badaris, Barney Silva. Barney Silva couldn't be here because he's in Colorado with his son, working on his house. But I can't. I left the islands in 1969, left it surf club and everything behind, went to the mainland, returned in 1986 and retired 4 years ago from Northwest Airlines. 41 years with Northwest Airlines. It was such a good ride working for that company. And I'm happy that I was blessed to maintain a job with them. Saw the world, enjoyed it. I got nothing else to say. Although it's really good to see all the old friends here. Thank you.
Go with your wife.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law, that's right. Your mom.
Well, I'm married to Arnold's twin brother, Mousy and Mitzi. And Ewa Beach Surf Club, we were down at Howbush, and I guess I want to say that maybe it was a little chauvinistic in the beginning because I was elected the first secretary, but the boys had to vote on if they were going to even let the girls in. So I went down Howbush, sitting there wondering, and by golly, I was secretary, George Onakea was president, David Sakai Pooney was the advisor, and Mr. Fernandez and his son Alan Fernandez, Michael Cruz, Frankie Cruz, so many people, and it was really a good time for a lot of good, clean fun. It was when things were simple, and it was a very, very good, you know, nobody in Ewa Beach had ever heard of drugs. We were just, you know, the beer and the slow gen fizzes here and there, but
Yeah, but the twins smoke.
yeah, they did. But anyway, it was a great experience. I arrived here in 1960, and from Northern California, and I've never left Hawaii. I love it. Mahalo.
Oh, wow. My name is Ron Johnson. For those of you that don't know, we're one of the original families on Ewa Beach Road. I think a lot of you probably know my cousin more than you know me, Michael Johnson. As Tony mentioned, our club basically officially started in 1961, but I can safely say that there is something brewing prior to that, and basically that was in 58. So if you notice on our banner there, it says 1958. And from what I can remember, I know there was about 5 of us, but I can only remember 3 people. That's myself, John Sadowski, and Lester Inamoto. As far as in my view, I believe a lot of the Ewa Beach Surf Club were basically main members lived on Ewa Beach Road. To name a few, Patrick Vieira, Alan and Stan Watanabe, Alan Fernandez, Mike and Frankie Cruz. Who else was there? On Ewa Beach Road, Winnie Medeiros. What was Barney? Yeah, was mentioned. What's Roback's first name? Augie Roback.
What about Albert?
Albert Gando. I believe he was in the club as well. Louis and John. Louis, John, and then of course after that, George, who was known back then as Bum Bum. So when you approach him, just call him Bum Bum. As Tony said, it was the good old days, clean. Just the luck of the draw, we didn't have all these drugs going on and stuff, so we were fortunate in that sense. And I personally believe that our surf club represented Ewa Beach to the best of our ability. No trouble. Yeah, we had a few good times, good parties, but it was nothing that created any kind of problems. And of course, it's a lot of years gone by, so I really want to hear the next generation or people that came after us. I'm happy to be here. Good to see all of the faces, our time as well as generations after. The Moody twins, and then next generation we have Nathan Moody over here from Maui, Cleighton Eaton. We see Cal Eaton all the time out there now, so we'd like to see more people out there joining us. It's on the clean good days, it's just me and John, all to ourselves. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. Hi, I'm Lester Inamoto, and as Ronald said, our fun started a long time before the surf club. I remember surfing with a hollow board that my dad made, and every 2 waves you'd have to come to the shore, lift it against the wall, pull the cork out, empty it out. When the water stopped, put the cork back in, and you could go back out and continue surfing. And those were the days.
All aboard, Jay.
Yeah. And then we progressed to balsa, and then the foam came in, short boards. But really, the kids on Ewa Beach Road just had fun. We would meet in the morning, after school, weekends. If the surf wasn't there, we'd be camping, fishing, and it was just something that, to me, the community had all these pockets of nice things that their children did. Surfing was one of them. And the good thing about surfing is that once we got into competition, into surf meets, that was the fun, that was the excitement, that drew families together. It drew us into the different communities, surfing against the town people. And we represented Ewa Beach well in surf meets. And all I can say is I hope the younger generation continues that. I've been out of the picture for quite a while. And now that I've seen what has transpired after us, I seriously want to get back into it. And here's one of the original jackets. The paint is, the stenciling is kind of peeling off, but it represents the buoy that sat outside of empty lots for a good number of years. We used to paddle out there on a nice day around the buoy and back into shore. So
let me interrupt Les real quickly. Just curious, how many of you are familiar or were around when this marker was up?
So that means you're over 40.
anyway, it's an honor to be here today. I'm glad John called me up. I'm one that wants to come, but I usually don't. And I really miss it. Thank you very much.
He was an all-star football player, track runner. At one time he had the state record for the 100, I think the 220. 440.
440.
So,
And it
used to watch him run around Ewa Beach, you know, and go, someday I'm going to do that. Never got as fast as him, though.
I just want to thank those that organized this today, Mike, Clay, Mel, who else? I know I'm missing somebody. Everybody, you know, just thank you for the invitation. When I got the email from Mike, I asked him, so who's invited? And he said, those that were in the Ewa Beach Surf Club. And he also put in quotes, I think it was, can you get in touch with the original guys? Okay, now, just want to make something clear, yeah? Everybody here is original. Okay, because you have to start somewhere, and wherever you are now, where you were before, you're still original. Okay, there's nobody on the face of this planet. Okay, this island's got Hawaii about 1 million people. Okay, and I just heard recently that we're about 7 billion in the world now. Okay, but there's nobody on the face of this planet exactly like you. You're unique. 1 in 7 billion. Okay, so remember that, because your children, your grandchildren, and their children, 4 generations later, that's why we're here today. We want to pass down the mana'o. We want to pass on the verbal language, or just being able to share these stories with you too. Because it started somewhere, but when I listen to Mitzi, Ron, Les, Tony, you know, it's the values that our parents gave us. And those values go on forever. You know, and we have a choice. We have a choice whether we want to continue that, or we have a choice whether we want to just abandon it. Okay, so that's why we're all here. Okay, so let me share some memories or stories about what I remember. And at my age, it gets a little bit more challenging to remember things. I remember the Ewa Beach Surf Club patch. Okay, and I thought I lost it. because I couldn't remember who I loaned it to. And then just this week, Ron gave me the patch. I said, oh, you had them all this time. Yeah, because he needed a patch to make a shirt. Turn around, Ron. Okay, to make a shirt, okay, with the marker on top, which I took that logo and put it on the banner. Okay, technology today, great, yeah. But I didn't do it. I had people do it. I just told them what I wanted. Okay, but you know, that marker is unique in the sense that it was there from as far as back as I could remember. Okay, and we came into Ewa Beach about 1945. How do I know that? Well, I wasn't born in 1945. I was born 2 years later, but my older brother was born then, and he remembers we were in Ewa Beach then. Okay, so that was a unique time. Because our front yard was the ocean. Okay, so that's how we went out and played in the ocean. Okay, now for me and my family, I guess more for me, when I grew up, I didn't have a surfboard, never did, until just recently. Okay, so all the surf meets that I went to, I mean, somebody just told me this the other night. They said, oh, Johnny, you, Waikiki, you were using somebody's, I mean, whose blue board was that? I said, oh, Pooney's. Okay, oh, at Makaha, you're on red board. Whose board was that? Oh, that was Barney's, Garden and Smith. You know, so, what about that clear board? Who's that? Oh, George Onikea's. You know, and that's another, those are other names that we haven't mentioned. The Onikea's, you know, they came in too and helped support us too. But these are all memories from way back when. And I was just blessed, and all of us are. We're all blessed with certain gifts, talents, and abilities. And you know, we gotta use it. Because if we don't use it, we're gonna lose it. Yeah, we gotta use it so we don't lose it. And you definitely don't want to abuse it. Yeah. So talking to Lester earlier, he said, "Oh yeah, I remember this, I remember that." And you just heard him say, I want to get back into surfing. And he said this 10 years ago. And I said, Les, if you don't get out there now, 10 years later, you're going to be saying the same thing. And thank you, Pat, for your support in bringing him here today. Because we know behind a great man is a great woman. So, you know, those are the values. Those are the little things that help us to be the people we are today. And we're just passing it down to our children and their children, and just trying to keep it going. Okay, trying to keep it going. This is a great event. Another story. Donna Wallace, that's another name that wasn't mentioned. Barbara Loomis. Okay, Donna Wallace was that Cape Art group. Punani Kualapai is another one. Okay, but I remember Donna Wallace because we were at Yokohama Bay one day. She's a regular stance. Yokohama Bay, if you guys know what that is, it's a left, yeah? Guess where Donna was going? Right into the reef. I said, wow, this Howley, what's she doing, man? You know, but she came out, she's still living today, so, you know, it's pretty good. But, you know, those are the fond memories that we remember. And then Norman Nauka, you know, Norman would be out there with his pants, his jeans surfing. I said, wow, Norman, I mean, that's pretty good, man, you know? First guy with jeans, last guy with jeans, you know, but still surfing, right? Still surfing. Other fond memories. I guess I need to clarify this because through the grapevine, and Sway Locks might be one of them. And before Sway Locks came in, I heard somebody say, or I read it somewhere where Johns Beach was named after me because I won the Makaha International Surf Meet. No, I didn't win Makaha. Okay, I took third. Okay, and the beach was named after me because one day it was Ron, me, I think Lester, Barney, and a few other people were out there at Sandtrack. And Sandtrack started right where that gate is. Okay, up to the bathhouse. That's Sandtrack. That's not Howbush. Howbush is on the other side. Outside of Howbush is Shark Country.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's the area that we remember. Okay, and from the bathhouse, right where the reef is, that's John's Beach. Inside of that is Coles, and then you come right here to Barbers Point. Okay, John's Beach was named after me because the day that we were out there, sand track, surfing, and then I saw this little break down by the reef over there. And I told my brother them, hey, let's go down there. They said, oh, no, that's great over here. We're having fun. So I paddled down there, and they saw me catching some waves. And then when they came in, this is by almost the end of the day, they're all standing up there looking at one guy catching these waves, nose rides, over the head, yeah, hanging 10, 5, 6, whatever. And then they said, well, what is this beach called? And they just said, John's Beach. So that's the original correct way. And it's not on any map, but it's in a book, Hawaii Place Names. And this guy, John Clark, called me one day and he asked me about how that beach got named. And I said, well, this is my story, but let me call my brother because he's older than me and he was there with me. So I verified what I just told you. That's how it came about. Okay. I also have a trophy that I won in one of the surf meets in Waikiki, and I talked to Winnie Medeiros, which is one of the older persons that was one of the originals of the Ewa Beach Surf Club. I said, Winnie, you were one of the original people that started. He said, yeah. Okay, and I said, what year was that? And there was a pause. So, when you're older and somebody asks you a question, you gotta pause. And then he said, well, I remember we moved on onto Ewa Beach Road in 1960. Okay, so Ron also said that things were starting up as a club or a group of people in 1958. So that's where that number came. But I think officially, because Tony has the original Ewa Beach Surf Club card, and on there it says 1961.
By the way, the Wild Trio, John, myself, and Lester Inamoto, that club was called Ewa Beach Surf Champs.
Yeah, and I was just telling Lester this story. The three of us, and there might have been another person, and the waves must have been flat, must have been raining maybe, but we went to Lester's house, and we walked up these stairs, a 2-story house, and they had this big area. And I'm sure Ron came up with this because he's older. He said, hey, let's play the Walk Don't Run from the Ventures. So we played that record, and it must have been hours because we were laying on the floor pretending we were paddling, jumping up, making our style, 360s. We must have spent hours because we were sweating when we got through. Okay, but those are the kind of things we did, and those are fun memories. And you just want to take that and just pass it down to the next generation. Okay, because when our time comes and we leave, those kind of things are the things that are going to carry the next generation. So we want to do that. And now I'm going to pass this over to the next generation. Okay, and you'll hear their stories. Thank you very much, everybody.
But ask Nathan to come up here to accept an award for Barney Silva. Unfortunately, Barney couldn't be here.
Hi, I'm Nathan Moody. Barney and I live on Maui. He was really wanting to come, but he couldn't make it.
Hello? Okay. The waves are good on Maui, which you guys know to come there. I left Honolulu in I think it was like 60, and I went over to be with Clay.
7.
Huh? 60? Oh, that's right. That's right. 70. Yeah, 1970. Let's see if you guys was alert. Other than that,
life's been good over there. Really nice to see everybody. We changed a little, but not that much. Glad everybody's still in the ocean, and that's about it. Thank you.
Guys, but we want to call up Norman Nauka, Mr. Cheater 5. Okay.
Hello everybody. I remember Tony, I used to use her board, but yeah, Yogi Bear, there we go. Yeah, Lester, I used to use everybody's board on the beach because I didn't have a board. But I want to thank everybody, everybody looks good, we're still surfing, and that's it. Thank you.
I'm not very good. Keep it short. I have one question. Can you guys all hear me? One question. Who knows where I wore my patch? Ewa Beach Surf Club. Raise your hand. Nobody knows? Right here. Mel, I want to thank you for making these beautiful trophies. I want to thank, I call them trophies, and your wife and all the people that have taken the time to put this together. It's awesome, gang. I think I was the only girl that showed up today. I seem like to be the only one, but thank you so much for everything. Okay? Aloha.
Actually, Mel got a hold of me about doing t-shirts, and he wanted some ideas. I flashed some things over here. Mike said he was going to do it. He did it. So let him give some top story over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm just glad that all of us can get together over here and see each other after not seeing people for so long. It's wonderful. Hey, I'm glad I can help out.
You know, on this Ewa Beach Surf Club, Mel asked me to come up with some no-hio. So in the back it has Kako, let's go surfing. There's the two sharks. You guys know about Pu'uloa, Kahupa'o was one of the main aumakua of this place. Pu'uloa is Ewa Beach, by the way. And then it has a saying, Namamo o Pu'uloa mai poina na la ai oia. Descendants of Pu'uloa. We remember the days of your youth. And that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. And the back picture, contrary to what everybody says, that's not me, that's Calvin. And if you believe that, you believe in the Easter Bunny. All right, thank you. We have to do a shout out for James Devlin. Is he here? Is James Devlin here? Is anybody here that can represent James Devlin? He was the one that started Sway Locks. I got on maybe about 6 or 8 months ago, and it was Isaac Tanaka that told me about it, because he said, you better go on here because there's a bunch of guys saying stuff, and I think they got the stories wrong. So that's how it started. Tommy Phillips, inspiring. I didn't know the guy could type, but he's on there all the time. And we just want to give a shout out for everybody who's here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time. I'll give you some personal stories. I was coming up right behind these guys. Watched Lester, Johnny, Ronald Bjornson. I really used to admire Lester and John because the way they surfed at Waikiki and Empty Lot, they would surf at Makaha. It was the same. No change. And back in those days, you used one board for every wave you went to. You didn't have a quiver. And the boards were like ironing boards, they're straight. So those are my best memories growing up over there. It was guys like John and Lester that got me to go to the North Shore. Paul Shepard used to take me, Kevin Johns used to take me over there because they had license, I never have. My mom never even knew we were going, but it was all good. So that was my thing going over there. And I always wanted to represent Ewa Beach Surf Club. Get plenty of stories. I won't go through all that because we can talk about it along the way. No. Anybody else? Paul Shepard. That's right. That's right.
Keep it short.
I said thank you. I thought you was going to be nice to me.
I am nice to you. That's why we're honoring you.
Honoring you.
Thanks, boss. I don't know what to say, but I surrounded with the people. They're my family. And we have the most beautiful family that I can think of. And I'm proud to be part of it. And this place is our home. And will always be our home. And it's that way because of the people that we grew up with and the times that we had. And I'm going big now, otherwise I'm going to cry.
Hello everybody, it's me again. Thanking you guys all for coming over here. This has been a blessing indeed to see everybody like this. And as the people started showing up today, it just got more amazing and more amazing. I know all of you here, although I don't know all of you by name, my heart knows all of you. Okay. On this side of the crowd over here, we got the empty lot side, I'm going to call them, okay? I lived on the Popipi Road side, so I'm the Shaw Country side, okay? And we kind of intermix every once in a while because there was a rumor that went out one time that said, hey, empty lot guys that get along with Shaw Country guys, don't you believe it? Don't you believe it? Yeah, because they come down, we go up, at the Poo Poo Street Gang, and a lot of people, the names that we didn't mention, that have gone on and had their own little lives. But I'm so happy to be here. I'm not the only one that organized this thing. People say, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. But it's a collective effort of everybody, of all of you coming out here and sharing you guys' love with each other and for all of us. And with that, I thank you. I hope we can do this again sometime. But we're going to be here forever in everybody's hearts. Thank you very much.
I'm an Air Force kid, and in 1961 we got stationed here. And my first surfing took place here at Barber's Point in Ewa Beach. My next door neighbors in Pearl City were the Louis Quans, and they were from Ewa Beach, and they would take me down to Shark Country and Howbush. And unfortunately in 1964 my father got stationed back on the mainland. I had a job with Hobie and I wanted to stay in Hawaii. But back then, you weren't a man at 18, you became a man at 21. So I was forced to move along with the family, but I continued surfing when I lived on the East Coast. And eventually moved myself closer, but it was 19 years before I got to come back to Hawaii for the first time. And then it was another 19 years before my next trip back. But in the last 10 years, I've made sure to get back to Hawaii. Brought my son on his 10th birthday down to Howbush so I could show him where I learned how to surf. And now I try to get back to the islands at least twice a year, and I want to start making about 4 times a year. And I say you can take the boy out of Ewa, but you can't take the Ewa out of the boy.
Black surfboard, black left. We're gonna give it to Herb Bruce. He'll stay. So I'm gonna give it to Clay. I'm gonna only one left. I just wanna all appreciation for Clay for helping us organizing this. And thank you, brother. And he has a lot of history because a lot of times he ask me about things that we did and I don't remember. So it kind of reminds me sometimes. Thank you, everybody.
He broke the rules. The rules was everybody had to be older than us. So he just broke the rules. That was what we wanted to do, was to bring the original crew here and some other guys here, and then we could just give everybody a good perspective of what Ewa Beach was about. What Mike said was, yeah, there was no demarcation line when we growing up. You know, we surfed all the way to Campbell's. Didn't matter. That to me, that was the whole area. Today was actually the first time I came through this road and I got lost. I have to call up Mike and now. Because back in the day, we wasn't allowed to come in here. We went around that fence right there. You either walk or you paddle. So I remember the first time I came was with Norman Napa and Doug Kingsley. We paddled around there. And the barbed wire fence went all the way into the ocean back then. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. We love you all. Aloha.